Shannon Sharp interviews Bud Crawford, and I found out something very interesting. Let's talk.
Push the weight in no flex. Flex the live is one in the six. Fit the runner boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon. Motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Okay, someone gave me some information, and they speaking to me about my last show that I did a couple of days ago about Bud Crawford and my fear in reference to something called spiritual backlash. Spiritual backlash. If you don't know what that is, read up on it. Go back to my live stream a couple of days ago when I talked about my biggest fear with the Bud and Canelo fight coming up. Pretty much I was stating that the only way that Bud could lose this fight, because I pick him to win. Skill set, he got that in the bag. I do think that he has things that he can bring into that ring that Canelo's never seen before. I mean, Canelo's seen a lot of styles, but we know it gives Canelo problems, and everything that gives Canelo problems, Bud brings to the table. But the only thing that can get Bud's way is himself. The other thing are the things that he puts out into the universe by way of himself. A lot of athletes may be physical specimens, but they may crumble when you least expect it due to the decisions they make outside of the boxing ring, the football field, the baseball diamond, and that's a concern. Bud is a phenomenal athlete. He is one of the, if not the best boxers of our generation, which is why he can compete with Canelo. I don't know why people act like we've never seen Canelo lose. Like I said, we know it gives him problems, and Bud brings that to the table. I really don't think size is going to be the issue. But I was referred to the Shannon Sharp interview that I knew about. It's probably a month and some change old now. I never really watched the whole thing. But I got to start watching these interviews when fighters are on there, because they always drop a gem. So somebody sent me something, and then he told me something that he heard. And incidentally, I said, wow, that's interesting you say that, because when he sat next to Canelo, they said, how many kids you have, Canelo? He said, I have 4. They said, Bud, how many children you have? He said 7. Canelo said 7? Hey, God, my God. Yeah. So, I didn't really give it much thought. And I was talking to my brother, Stormy B Man, and, we talk about just everything that goes beyond boxing. We talk about intangibles, but one thing that we normally zero in on is character. And that's where a lot of athletes fall short. All the talent in the world you may have, but when you lack character and your demeanor is off, and look, you might not buy into this, but I've seen this to prove my point in reference to what I'm saying. When you lack spiritual balance, it could show its face at the damnedest of times. Now, I can't deny or confirm anything in reference to what I heard, but I'll share it with you. And any other time, I wouldn't entertain it. But when I asked the brother, I said, well, people talk a lot. Why would this be happening? Then he sends me the clip when he was interviewing with Shannon Sharp, and I said, oh my God, no. I was told that Bud, and I don't know, this is his wife. I don't know her. I don't know her name. I stay out of the athlete's business in reference to that. But he said, hey, Drew, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard his wife is about to divorce him and take him for half of everything. And I'm like, okay. You hear things. He says, look, I don't know if it's true, but this is what I heard. And I said, well, that's interesting because, ain't they high school sweethearts? You've been with this woman forever. You got a bunch of kids with her. And he said, you didn't know? I said, no, what? He said, one of those babies ain't his. The last one. And I said, wait, how do you know that, man? And then he sends me the clip. I'm going to play the audio for you. And I'm going to call fair use. It's property of Club Shay Shay. But don't hammer me, don't do me too dirty, Shannon. I'm just I'm a small channel. I'm just going to play some audio, brother. About a minute or so. And I missed this. So I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. Just listen carefully. This is Bud and Shannon. Listen.
You said something interesting. You said the last one is not by her.
Right. Last one not by her.
Uh-oh. And you mean to tell me how you sit here with your eye not closed?
Things happen. Different circumstances.
How do you walk us through it? How you go home? Hey, babe. How you do, babe? How you doing today? I'm good, bud. What's going on? I brought you something. Hey, well, what's going on?
Shit.
Hey, so how you doing? Sit down. Bud, what you got to tell me, Bud?
Nigga got one on the way.
Just like that, Bud?
Shit, you can't lie. How you gonna lie? You better tell her now or it's gonna be worse when the baby comes.
Right.
Shit, I'm just a man.
What she say?
What she say?
Yeah. Did you yell, scream, dot your eye?
Man.
You had
First of all, look, I know they're doing a show, but two things. Number one, I don't know what's funny about that. I'm not, and that wasn't an uncomfortable laugh to me. They're men just having a conversation, right? All right, man, but damn. I know when you hear it, I know Shannon was like, well, damn, bro. And, Bud's sitting there smiling like, hey, man, I'm just a man. That's my other thing, bro. Don't put that on, man, bro. Don't do that, brother. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Do not do that. Fair use. That was Club Shay Shay. Bud Crawford interview. It was about a month or some change ago. Go listen to it. I don't know how deep, but someone sent it to me. And I said, I don't believe it. I didn't know that. I missed that. Why didn't anyone talk about that? I don't know. But the reason why I'm talking about it now is because look, if you missed my live stream, I talked about spiritual backlash. My problem was when he sat across from Canelo Alvarez and they were talking about resume. Canelo asked him a simple question. All right, what makes your resume special? There was 3 names he could have fired off. When he fought those 3 names, they were top tier guys. And he could have did the Uno reverse on Canelo and started questioning everything on his resume. What he did, when he did it, and why he isn't fighting his contemporary. Instead of fighting David Benavidez, you fighting a smaller guy. Again, me, Jamel, not Jamal, Jamel. Speaking of Jamal, when it was time for you to fight him, a franchise status popped up. Where'd that go? He could have destroyed Canelo. But you say Victor Postile and Ricky Burns? You didn't say Gamboa. You didn't say Errol Spence. You didn't say Sean Porter. You fought these guys when they were in their prime, man. You didn't say Kell Brook. He took the Errol loss and he took the Golovkin loss, but still. And my problem was he refused to give the people of color on his resume. that actually make his resume a lot better when speaking on it. And I said, I think he has a problem giving his own credit for anything that he's accomplished in his life. Case in point, when Bob Arum made those statements about him, and we pulled the guns out, the virtual guns out, and we started firing off on him in Top Rank, he claps back at the community and say, you don't know his heart. Huh? Then turns right around and sues him for racial discrimination. Right? And I don't know what happened with that case. It just disappeared. I don't know if they gave him some bread and said, yo, just shut up about it. I don't know what happened. And listen, man, I'm supporting Bud, but Bud don't F with us. He don't give anybody in the LDBC interviews. Bernie does more talking to people around us. I've seen Bernie out in Vegas. We had a conversation. He cool. And I told y'all before, all of this stuff, it was never hate on Bud. I never said he was a horrible fighter. I never said he was a horrible athlete. I said Bud is a bad mofo. I just want him to fight Errol in 60-40. He was actually generous. That's all. That's it. Bud fought Errol. He demolished him. He's that guy now. And I have no problem with that. But my concern is this spiritual backlash. I had no idea this happened on Club Shay Shay. And guess what? No one in my chat knew it either. Could it be because ain't no one checking for Bud like that? It got 1 million and some odd views, I guess. But why is it that no one brought this up? This behavior is not normalized in our community. It's not. And I'm like, how the hell? You know why? Because I didn't watch the whole interview. I ain't even gonna hold you. Because it was Shannon and Bud, you know what I did? I went to the page. I hit the like button. I listened to a few minutes of it. I watched them, oh man, almost knocked over my mic. I watched them, do some wrestling thing in the gym. And then I turned it off, but I showed support. But I didn't watch it all the way through because I always had something else to do. I'm also a content creator myself. But I missed this. Now, interesting. My boy gives me this information, something he heard through the grapevine. I don't know if it's true, but I said, what you talking about taking for half his stuff? Oh, he got a child out of wedlock. Well, he got 7. Which one? And now it's the last one. I was just talking about spiritual backlash. Now, I don't know if his wife is leaving him and taking half. I don't know about that. I also saw another video on YouTube. He's walking with this unidentified woman, and it says Bud's new girlfriend with a question mark. I don't know nothing about that. I didn't think to look for this. But you can't go into the biggest fight of your life with stupid distractions like this. Because fighters have a lot of, listen, no one knew about the depths of what Floyd Mayweather Jr. was going through when he was dealing with Miss Jackson. And for those of you that don't know, going into the Maidana fight, the first one, he was dealing with that airhead woman, and she aborted his twins. She was pregnant with twins. She deleted them and then told him. And then she's threatening him. And then she got on TV and said, oh, he was physically abusive. She was crying real tears. And he was dealing with that leading up to the Maidana fight. That's why he looked so bad. Because it was on his mental. Now he won, but it was a close enough fight to the public that he had to run it back again. And he ran it back. He looked like a different person. Bud don't need this headache. Now this was told to me today. My boy told me this is what was told to him. He don't know if that's even true. He said, I'm just letting you know, Drew. And I'm like, I don't know about that. What? He says, oh, you didn't know that last kid is out of wedlock. I said, huh? And then he sent me a clip. I'm like, oh my God. Now, look, man, you don't have to be religious. You don't have to believe in God or whatever, but I do believe in the universe. And I always tell my audience, you get what you put out 100%. You put something out there, eventually, good or bad, the results are going to come back to you, good or bad. Another thing I'll say, I don't know his wife, never even heard her speak. But when a woman, y'all ever heard something called a woman scorn? For all she knows this is the biggest fight of his career. And I don't know what kind of person she is, but if she is vindictive or decides to be, she might decide to show her behind leading up to this fight. And it could totally throw him off. Bud don't need this freaking heat. Or it could be nothing. Oh, you have a baby out of wedlock? Psh, we got money. That's your business, though. You got to explain that to the kids. I'm holding on to you because you're the breadwinner and we live in this lifestyle. Ladies, and I know what you're saying. Oh, she should hit him up for half and take it and child support and take all the kids. It's not that simple. And you know what? It's really not that worth it. It's really not worth it. It's really not worth it. You on the inherit list, baby. You're good. What you gonna do? Take half, take the kids, go somewhere? I don't know what she does for a living. She's gonna have to work now. I don't know how much Bud is worth, but let's say it's 50 million. Let's say she hit him for half and take him for $70 million. Now she got 6 kids because one ain't hers. 6 kids and 70 mil. Does she know how finances work, or is she going to sit on behind and then slowly spend money? The kids have a lifestyle that they used to live in. That costs money. Bud could keep fighting to make that money back. Trust me. I've seen people you've heard about people burn through. You be like, yo, how does athlete make over $120 million in their career and they have no money? Y'all know how many baby mamas or ex-wives get a good check in child support and burn through that money in 5 years? Then try and take homie back to court and say, no. When you got done with him, it was like 80-20. And you were good. 6 years later, he's still, turning heads in his respective sport. He done recouped that money back and then some. And now you look at your bank account, you only got $120,000 left. The kids ain't grown yet, and you trying to hit them back up for money. No, you goofed off the money. So ladies, don't think it's that easy, yo. I'm just gonna leave and take half his stuff, because a lot of y'all don't know how finances work. Y'all don't. So if she stays, that's cool. But here's my question, ladies and gentlemen. Listen carefully. She could stay and say, look, I'm just going to deal with it. It's whatever. All right, cool. But how do you think the universe is looking at Bud? Do you understand what I just asked you? How do you think the universe is looking at Bud? I just said that he has a problem congratulating anyone that's of color that's assisted him on his resume. His friend Sean Porter. Errol Spence, who made the fight against the better judgment of Al Heyman, which is why he's probably, probably not why he's not in the ring right now. He did that for his brother in arms, because boxers are supposed to help each other eat, and his black brother. Yes. Kell Brook didn't have to fight you, but he did it. And I know you don't know him like that, but these are guys on your resume. Yorkis Gamboa. And Dongo. Now, I mentioned that for a reason, because I saw another clip of him partying, and I guess it's in his neighborhood. And guess how his neighbors look? They don't look like him. You see what I'm saying is Bud Crawford, it's a huge possibility that he takes all skin folk and kinfolk to a new realm. And the majority of the stuff that made him struggle in life was from people that looked like him, starting with his mom. But just like I could sit here and say, man, all white people ain't racist. That's absolutely true. All white people are not racist. All black people are not bad, but some of them do help. And I suspect that the fact that your biggest win is Errol And for some reason that bothers you. You said the man don't belong in the Hall of Fame. All right, cool. So why is everyone celebrating that victory? I was there, bud. Is it the fact that you knew he was 100% and in your heart of hearts, hey man, in your heart of hearts, you know you ain't beat 100% Errol. That's why you wanted that rematch so bad. But due to the business, Errol's not even in the ring. You mad at that? Brother, you need to get over that. Forget a chip on your shoulder. You got a whole iceberg, man. An entire iceberg. Now, your wife, I don't know about that leaving you stuff. I don't know if that's true. And you know what? I hope that's not true. But when I talk about spiritual backlash, you put something out in the universe, and the universe has a receipt for you. In the ring with Canelo, that is not the time you want to be given that receipt. That is not the time that you want the universe getting that receipt on you, bro. I don't want you looking all crazy the week of the fight, the week prior to the fight. I don't want you looking all crazy. Like, yo, what's wrong with him? And then we find out, oh man, he was going through marital problems. You know, that last baby ain't his. Oh, now how many people knew that? I just found this out today. I'm surprised it's not bigger news. Oh, well, Drew, why are you talking about it? Because it's a reality. And if this turns out the way I don't want it to turn out, if y'all gonna get up on him and be like, yo, Bud wasn't himself in the ring. There was something wrong with him. Just like I'm looking at Floyd in the first Maidana fight. I'm like, man, he don't fight like this. What's wrong with him? Is his legs gone? Or no. You found out he was going through that nonsense with Miss Jackson. Oh, that's what it was. He don't have time to be dealing with some nonsense going in there with Canelo Alvarez, man. Canelo Alvarez is not Marcus Maidana. You cannot make a mistake. The mistake won't be because he's not healthy. The mistake won't be the weight. The mistake won't be the height or the reach. The mistake will be all mental. And women are what I call smart bombs. And if she really want to get some get back, she'll fuck with him during his camp towards the end. She'll start saying some shit just to make him hurt. Yeah, I should leave your ass. Huh? Go on and leave then. And then he's in the ring hitting the bag with Bomac, and then it's on this man. Bud, what's wrong with you? Nothing. Yeah, what your wife said, it's like, wow, she really gonna leave after all these years? Yeah, nigga, you done made a baby out of wedlock, man. I don't want no distractions. I don't want no, and what I'm revealing to y'all is a potential excuse. You know what'll happen? If they reiterate his mind not being there and this comes up, you know no one's going to want to hear it, right? Just remember I said it. My biggest fear has nothing to do with physical. It's all mental. If the universe comes to collect that receipt on fight night, man, it don't matter who I feel is going to win. I don't like how it's adding up. Now, I want Bud to win. I believe he'll win because he has all the tools. The only person that could beat Bud in that ring, it's not even Canelo, it's Bud. And the shit you put out in the universe, y'all will not understand. That resume conversation with Canelo was so ridiculous. He got all uncomfortable. Go watch it. He got all uncomfortable, start moving around. I said, whoa, I don't like that. You could take Canelo apart on the resume thing. It's easy. You got 3 names on there that you fought in their prime. And I didn't even mention Gamboa. But Gamboa was that dude back then, and Bud took care of him. Kell Brook had a really good resume. He was a dog, and Bud took care of him. Nobody stopped Sean Porter. Bud took care of him. Nobody did to Errol what Bud did to him. Bud took care of him. But you want to bring up Ricky Burns and Victor Post style, man. You really hate yourself that much, brother? Oh no, Drew, he really don't like his opponents, man. Nonsense. The Errol Spence fight don't happen if it wasn't for Errol. Did that pain you? Nobody forced Errol to do it. Errol forced himself to do it. He broke bread with you. Why are you not giving that man his credit? Why are you not giving Sean Porter his credit? You ain't mentioned Kell Brook. You ain't mentioned Gamboa. You went to Post Style and Ricky Burns. Post Style was a failed pay-per-view. Ricky Burns, the only time I saw him fight was when you was kicking his ass all over the damn ring. And now I find out this. It's always deeper than boxing, ladies and gentlemen. And I wish you guys would pay attention to this, man. Y'all take this video and do what you want with it, man. You think I'm ODing? Fine. I know you're a Bud fan. But you guys need to pay attention to detail. Bronx on deck.